I want to show you where this special number pi comes from and why it's such a special number and why it pops up so much here. So that was a perfect circle. Now I'm going to not be able to draw a perfect circle here, but I'm going to try to draw a reasonable circle all the way around like this. And then I'm going to label the center of the circle right here, and the distance from the center to the edge of the circle, we're going to call that the radius r. All right? And also, we can go all the way across here like this, and we can say that this distance all the way across, this is called the diameter d. So the radius is just from the center to the edge, and the diameter is all the way through. It's basically 2 times the radius like this. And then we can also talk about the distance all the way around. If we were to put a tape measure or a piece of string and measure all the way around, even though I know this is not a perfect figure, if we go all the way around and measure the physical distance all the way around, this is called the circumference c. So what we want to do is be able to calculate the perimeter, the distance all the way around the circumference c, if you know what the radius of the diameter is. Now, let me turn it around for a second. If we have a circle like this, and we actually measure the circumference, and we measure the diameter, the distance across, if we take the circumference and we measure it in centimeters, and we divide it by the diameter, d, right? We're going to get some number, right? And that number is actually going to work out to be the following: 3.14159 ... In other words, if I actually measure the distance around this circle as accurately as I can, and then for the same circle measure the diameter and take the ratio of the circle all the way around to its diameter, I'm going to get something called 3.14159, but the decimals are going to go on and on forever and ever outside the calculator window. Now let's say that I do the exact same thing for a smaller circle. So let's say I have a smaller circle here with a smaller diameter, d, and of course it has a smaller circumference. So the diameter is smaller and the circumference is smaller. So I do the same calculation for this, right? I say, well, what if I take the circumference of this thing and I divide it by the diameter? Well, the circumference is smaller because the distance is smaller, and the diameter is also smaller for this circle. What should I get? Well, I'm telling you the result of this experiment is you also get 3.14159 ... So it turns out that no matter what kind of circle you draw, if you draw a gigantic circle as big as like a building and measure its diameter and measure its circumference and divide those numbers, you get 3.14159 in all the other decimals. If you make a very small circle, something you can draw on your paper, take the circumference and then divide by the diameter, you get the same number. If you make a circle the size of an atom and measure its radius and its diameter and its tiny little circumference, you will also get pi. So pi is a special number. It is kind of like the conversion factor that converts between diameter and circumference. And it's always the same number because when we make the circle smaller, the circumference goes down, but so does the diameter also go down. And so when you divide them, you get the same number. If you make the circle physically larger, even like a circle like the size of the solar system, the circumference is way, way bigger, but the diameter of that circle is also way bigger. And so when you divide them, you get the same number. So this number relates the circumference to the diameter, and it's always the same for every circle we have. And so we call this number pi, and we have a special symbol for it, and it's going to be 3.14159 ... The ... dots mean that this is an irrational number. And I know we haven't talked too much about that, but what it means is these decimals do not repeat. I mean, the individual numbers can happen more than once, but the pattern after the decimal never repeats. We've actually calculated pi to millions of decimal places, and there's no pattern. It is a number that pops up because of the geometry of our universe. I'm going to say one final thing before I go on and we solve these problems, and that is that this calculating of this pi, it only works when space is flat like this, on a flat board or a flat sheet of paper, when we measure the circumference and the diameter and divide them. If we bend space, like maybe we take our flat surface and change it into some crinkly looking, crooked looking thing, then we draw a circle on this curved path, and then we measure a kind of the diameter is going up and down too because it's curved, then the number you get for pi will be different because space is curved. You might say, great, that's awesome. Why do you tell me about this? Because we know in real life that space around us is curved by gravity. Space around us is different around a black hole. It's curved a lot more than it is around the Earth or even around deep space. So if you actually tried to measure pi in a spaceship around a black hole, you would get a different number because space is curved, it's twisted, right? And so these ideas of basically what is pi, it's a way to measure how flat your space is. So actually, when you get into really much more advanced math and physics, people that study black holes, people that study stars and what happens to space when it gets bent and warped, they actually use this definition. How different is pi from its normal flat number when you bend everything? Because the circumference and the diameter change, and so pi changes. So in other words, you can measure how flat your space is by how close pi is to the number we see every day. And if a black hole changes space too much, then the numbers will be very different from what we measure here. And actually, you know, we're on the Earth, and so gravity does change it a little bit here as well, but we just don't notice it very much. A black hole is like way stronger gravity than what we have here. So that was a little bit of an aside, but I want to also show you these things as we learn what pi is, that when you get older and study this stuff, there are people that study this exact same stuff here, but applying it to astronomy and learning about things in the other parts of the universe. So if we know that if we take the circumference of a circle and divide it by its diameter and we get a number called pi, we know how to work with equations now, right? So what we can do is we can say C over D. We just said it was equal to pi because that's what the definition of pi is. But what if we want to solve this equation for the circumference? Well, I want to get rid of this D, right? I can do whatever I want. I multiply by D and multiply by D. The D's cancel, and what do I get? I get that the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. So if I tell you the diameter of the circle, and you multiply by pi, which for our calculations, we're just going to use 3.14. We're going to cut it off right there and use 3.14. Then you will find the circumference. But also know that we know that the diameter here, the distance all the way across, is just 2 times the radius. It's just 2 times the radius. So what we also then know is that the circumference is pi times 2 times the radius, because the diameter of any circle is just 2 times the radius. And we usually rewrite this to put the 2 in the front and write 2 times pi times r. So if I give you the diameter of a circle, you just multiply by pi, and that tells you the circumference all the way around. If instead I give you the radius, take the radius, multiply by 2 times pi, and it gives you exactly the same thing, the distance all the way around. All right? So this is what I was saying in the beginning, that the value of pi is like a conversion factor that converts from the diameter across the circle to its circumference. And that's why when space gets bent, the conversion factor between diameter and circumference is different, because you bent space. Maybe you fold it up like this and it's just a totally different relationship. But in flat space, which is where we live, that is the equation. So now that we have all of that out of the way, I want to talk to you about how to solve these practical problems. So we look at a circle like this, and I'm asking you, what is the radius of this circle? And you write down that, hey, this is the distance from the center to the edge, and so it works out to be exactly 2 centimeters. And that is the correct answer, 2 centimeters. And then I say, what is the diameter? But I remember that the diameter of any circle is just 2 times its radius, because it's just all the way across, right? And 2 times the 2 here is 4. And since it's in centimeters, it's 4 centimeters. So I just go right up here and say the diameter is 4 centimeters, always 2 times the radius. And now we want to do the point of the lesson, which is to calculate the circumference. You have 2 choices. You can either, and you can do whatever you'd rather, you can take pi times the diameter, or 2 times pi times the radius. It gives you exactly the same answer, because remember, 2 times the radius is the diameter. So what I'm going to do is say the circumference is pi times the diameter, and pi is 3.14. And I know that it's not really 3.14. It is, the decimals go on forever, but I'm basically truncating it here, and I'm using an approximation. And the diameter is 4. Now, we're not going to do this for every single problem, but here for the first one, let's go ahead and multiply it out. 3.14 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and we have 4, 5. Then we have 3 times 4 is 12, and then we have 2 decimal positions after, so it's 12.56. So the circumference is 12.56. So that's the answer. And what is the unit of circumference? It's the distance all the way around. So if everything is in centimeters, this is in centimeters as well. So 12.56, and it's in centimeters as well. Put that down right here. 12.56 centimeters. All right, so the rest of the problems is just getting practice with this idea. We're going to get really fast at it, and so let's just crank along here. Firstly, I know that the distance 6 meters is all the way across here. So I fill in the diameter 6 meters. That's the distance all the way across. And then I know that the radius has to be half of that, right? Because if the diameter is all the way across, the radius is just half of 6. So I don't really need to do much of a calculation. I just know that it has to be 3 meters, half of 6. 2 times the radius should be the diameter. And then the circumference, I could just write as pi times the diameter, which is 3.14 times the diameter of 6. And again, we're not going to multiply that every single time, but 3.14 times 6, 6 times 4 is 24, 6, 7, 8, and then 3 times 6 is 18 with 2 decimals after the position there, right? And so I'm going to get 18.84, 18.84. And the circumference is the distance all the way around, so it's in centimeters. Actually, not in centimeters, sorry about that. This problem is in meters, so it's going to be in meters. So 18.84, and that's in meters. So let me take these down. We have a few more in this lesson, and then we're going to wrap it up. All right, here is the next problem, and we have the diagram labeled here with 5 millimeters, and we need to fill out what we have. So the distance from the center to the edge is always the radius of the circle, and so we can just write the radius down. Here is 5 millimeters. And the diameter is always going to be 2 times the radius. So the diameter is always going to be 2 times the radius, which is 2 times the 5, which is 10. And so 10 what? Well, it's 10 millimeters. So basically it's 10 millimeters all the way across through the center. Now the circumference of any circle, you can write it 2 ways. You can write pi times the diameter or 2 times pi times r. So we'll just kind of like go back and forth between doing the 2 different ways to do it here. So 2 times 3.14 for pi. We know the decimals go on farther than that, but we're going to truncate it there. Times the radius. The radius is 5. But you see what's going on here? The 2 times the 5 will make 10, and then it's multiplied by 3.14. But notice that the diameter was 10. So it's either pi times the diameter or 2 times pi times r, which is also the same thing as the diameter times pi. So you get the same thing here. And so we multiply by 10, we move the decimal 1 position to 31.4. And what unit are we talking about here? Well, again, it's millimeters. So 31.4, 31.4 millimeters. And that's the distance. If you were to measure it with a piece of string or something all the way around and then measure the length of that string, it would be 31.4 millimeters. All right, let's take a look at the next problem. What is the radius and the diameter and the circumference? Well, we already have the measurement already all the way across, so the diameter is 12 centimeters. And we also know that the radius is just half of the diameter, so 12 divided by 2 is 6, and so the radius is 6 centimeters, always the same units. Now, what would be the circumference? The circumference is pi times the diameter, or you could write it as 2 times pi times r. It's exactly the same thing. So we'll just say 2 times pi, 3.14, times the radius, which is 6. And we already know that 6 times 2 is 12 times 3.14. Now, we're not going to do this again for every problem. We'll do it with some of them. Let's take 3.14 times 12. Just do the decimal multiplication. 2 times 4 is 8. This is a 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Drop a 0. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. And we add. We get an 8, a 6, a 7, and a 3. And we have 2 positions after the decimals for 37.68. So we get 37.68. So for the circumference, 37.68, and it is in centimeters as well because the distance for its circumference is all the way around. So 37.68. All right, only 2 more problems. Let's take a look at this guy. Problem number 5. The radius is given right here on the figure. It's 9 meters, so we put 9 meters. And the diameter is 2 times that radius. So 9 times 2 is 18, so we just put 18 meters right there. And now we want to find that circumference. So we can say pi times the diameter, which is 3.14 times the diameter, which is 18. Now we just did the long multiplication there, so here the 18 times 3.14, I'm not going to do the long multiplication out, works out to be 56.52. So 56.52, and again, it's meters. Same distance all the way around, it's just a distance in meters, 56.52. And here is our last problem. Here, we're already given the diameter. The diameter is 9 millimeters. The radius has to be half of that diameter. So if you're not sure, because it doesn't divide exactly evenly, just go 9 and divide by 2, right? Put a little decimal, make it 9.0, put a little decimal right here. Well, what do we get? We get 9 times, or 2 times what is 9? The closest we can get is 2 times 4, which would be 8. 1, grab a 0, and then 2 times 5, which is 10, and then the remainder is 0, so we stop. So 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So the radius is 4.5, and the unit is millimeters. All right, next we have the circumference is pi times the diameter, right, which is 3.14 times 9, because the diameter is 9. 3.14 times 9, and so that works out to 28.26. When you do that long multiplication, 28.26. So 28.26, and the unit is millimeter, because they're all in the same unit, millimeters there, 28.26. So that was the very last problem. So I wanted you to get a flavor for a couple of things here. Number one, to understand the equation to find the circumference of a circle. Number two, to also understand kind of where pi comes from. It is just a fundamental number of our universe that our geometry works the way it does, and that number pi, when you look at all the decimal positions after the decimal point, it never ends. It's called an irrational number because those decimals, they never stop, and there's no pattern to them as well. And the way we find pi is you could literally draw any circle on a sheet of paper that you'd like, measure the circumference, measure the diameter of that same circle, and when you divide those numbers, circumference divided by diameter, you're going to get pi, 3.14, and a bunch of decimals beyond. So we can think of pi as being the conversion factor that goes between the distance across the circle and changes it into the distance around the circle. And that number 3.14 with a bunch of decimals is that conversion factor that converts from diameters to circumference. And we also mentioned that when space is warped, like around a black hole, it changes that. And so even though this seems like kind of elementary stuff, this stuff is actually used for very advanced things down the road. So I want you to always know that the things that you learn now are not just used for now. They're used way in the future for things you can't really you really don't know and learn about until much later. So I'd like you to practice these problems. Make sure you can calculate the radius, the diameter, and the circumference of a circle. Follow me on to the next lesson. We'll continue building your skills. Learn anything at mathandscience.com.